Welcome along to Autodrom Most. Welcome to the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. We have qualified on Saturday morning and now it's time to go racing for the final weekend of regular season. At the conclusion of this weekend, all drivers will drop their two worst scores of the season so far, and then we will go into the double points playoffs, where anything can and often does happen in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Most, Oschersleben and Zolder left to go for our teams. We are slowly travelling north for the remainder of the season, and Most is our next destination. We have drivers signing the autographs, meeting the fans, as you can see there. Patrick Schauber, the EuroNASCAR 2 pole sitter, is there and signing his autographs. But this is the EuroNASCAR Pro Race, and there are no prizes for guessing who's on pole position, really. It's been the same scenario every Saturday so far this year. Vittorio Garelli with his 5th consecutive super pole of the season. You see there the Goose, Mark Goossens, signing some autographs as well. One of many drivers we could see up the order in today's race. But there's your front row, Garelli alongside Paul Dufresne at the front of the order. That will be a very compelling run to the first turn. This circuit has its pinch points, that much is for certain, but there is no more tricky area of the circuit than turn 1, especially on the first lap when we're 2, maybe even 3 wide. It can get very hairy on the first 2 apexes. That man is our championship leader, Vittorio Garelli, getting ready to go racing. He's championship leader by a narrow margin, just 7 points. Clear at this stage of the season, and has the likes of Hasemans and Erkeli hunting him down. You see there Liam Hasemans, the junior trophy leader, 2nd overall in the standings at the moment. Of course, also the defending EuroNASCAR Pro Junior Trophy champion. Erkeli, Dufresne and Lasser bringing you down to 5th place. Downhauer, Delso, Cressones, Vargas and Dubek your top 10. Thomas Tuffel, of course, leading in Challenger Trophy. That man we just mentioned, Martin Dubek, of course, is the home hero here in Czechia. We are going to see him in action in both races, as has been custom all season, competing in EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro. In EuroNASCAR 2, of course, he is the championship leader, but he's having a strong season in the pro field as well. Talking of strong seasons, we just got a brief look there at the 55 car of Fabrizio Armetta, who is having a very strong season at the wheel of his club motorsport car. Mark Goossens getting ready to go. The team Bleekemolen guys, the Bleekemolen Race Planet team. Of course, that 72 car shared with Mikael Bleekemolen, who is currently the Legend Trophy Championship leader in EuroNASCAR 2, and Goossens is looking to move himself further up the overall standings. Mark had to prioritise his team management roles earlier in the season. Andre Viegold, meanwhile, is prioritising his pit walk roles. Hello.
Thank you so much, Adam. I'm here with our 4-time champion, Adam Gay. Welcome back into EuroNASCAR Grid. How are you doing here? Can you tell us?
I sound like in Granzat, coaching yeah, it's fun, to be in a different season. Obviously, I want to be, seeing the car, wrecking my own track record and being in top position is always nice. But I'm on a different role now, and for me, I want to give the best results.
Что с тем?
Talking about Autodrom was a very challenging track. You had
record until yesterday, let's say it like this. Today, till this morning. But if you want to be fast here, what does it take?
Well, it depends. This track is so quick, you know, and it's so unique. I think there is a combination of setup, having a good setup and a good team, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important. This is why we can see also PK and being on a huge gap on the pole position. So it's combination between setup and being smooth enough, you know, because the corners here are so quick and fast. You try to be smooth and not upsetting the car too much and losing too much speed.
All right, when you have to pick a championship contender, no, forget that you race for PK, okay? If you have to pick one, is it still Vittorio?
I wish it was me, you know, but I would say Vittorio have the biggest chance, yeah.
All right, thank you so much. I will let now do your work. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Adam.
Great to hear from Alon Day, one of the most successful drivers in the history of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. There's Jill Linster and Liam Hasemans. Liam Hasemans, as we saw, second in the championship right now. On paper, for sure, Vittorio Garelli has the best chance right now of the championship, as he is the championship leader, but Liam Hasemans right there with him. And a strong weekend here will give him a solid run for the remainder of the season as well. Of course, he, like everybody, will be dropping their two worst scores of the season after this weekend. And then we will have the double points run to the finish. In this current, guys, we have 40 points available for a win. But we'll talk about that in a minute because Paul Dufresne is with Andre.
Thank you so much, Adam. We talked to a four-time champion, Alon Day. Now we talk to one who already won the EuroNASCAR 2 Championship and wants the EuroNASCAR Pro Crown. First row, but Garelli was quite fast. Did you use the slipstream in the qualifying to get a better lap time?
Yeah, when I listened him say that, I was really losing in the track because we all know that there is no slipstream in EuroNASCAR. So yeah, he can say what he wants, but yeah, I know that I have the pace. It's the first time since the start of the season, so I think it's getting a bit in his head. So I will be there. I will not make fault, and I will be on his rear bumper all the race if I can, and I will be 100% of my capacity all the race. I feel great. I feel yeah, I've done a lot of preparation during the summer break, so yeah, I'm really prepared. We are already happy with the pace in the qualifying. I made some little mistakes, but we cannot be perfect. So yeah, I'm really confident, and yeah, we will try to win this, and yeah, to get a good place for tomorrow.
It sounds like all in.
Yeah, all in. Of course, we are just before the final, so we have to make our mark in their head. So yeah, it's this moment or nothing.
All right, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Good luck later.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Adam.
Thank you so much, Andre. I was just saying before, 40 points for a race win here at this stage of the season, in regular season in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Then it's 35 points for second place, and then it goes down in increments of one from there. So 34 for third, 33 for fourth, so on and so forth. And then it's double points in the playoffs from Oschersleben onwards. 80 points for a win, 70 for second, 68 for third, 66 for fourth, so on and so forth. Your 7 best results out of 9, I believe it will end up being, are your regular season scores. The fans are lining the spectator bank, but you also saw them down there on the grid. No prizes for guessing whose car has the most people around it. Martin Dubeck with a swarm of his fellow countrymen and women around his car. Vittorio Garelli, though, staying cool with Andre.
Thank you so much, Adam. I talked to Paul Dufresne. He said there's no slipstream. He didn't use it. There's no slipstream in EuroNASCAR. And he was questioning if the championship battle is getting a little bit into your head right now. Or are you cool?
Nah, I'm concentrated on my race. I mean,
he was like literally behind me, so for sure it helps on the straight, you know. But whatever, he was very fast anyway. He did a very good job in quali. It was a nice battle. Let's try to keep it up in the race to get the P1. I think I deserved it. P1 in all sessions from now, and yeah, let's finish the job.
This is what you said all season long, but I have to ask this: is there pressure a little bit coming, or can you really say I'm just focused on what's today and not what's tomorrow?
No, I used to think race by race, so the past I forget about it, you know. We have to try to maximize this weekend the result, so let's try to take the maximum points here, and then we go into the playoffs, and it will be another story. So let's focus on now, and then we see what happens later.
All right, merci. Still in French. Grazie mille, of course, in Italian. And back to you, Adam. Let's see what happens.
Sacre bleu, Andre. Oh, goodness me. So then, 21 minutes till the command is given. That will be the most famous words in motorsport, echoing through the circuit. And then the engines will fire and we'll be rolling on the formation lap. It will be Lucas Bayer of the Visit Czechia tourism project that gives the command today. And we look forward to welcoming him into the broadcast just as we get ready to go racing. There's Martin Dubeck, still busy signing, I'm sure. And the Hendricks Motorsport number 7 car, of course, pretty well up the order today in both classes. And the other Hendricks Motorsport car, Liam Hazeman's, also well up the grid on that second row. He'll be looking to maybe just try and sneak through early doors. I think Most, traditionally a bit of a difficult place for Liam. He certainly didn't have the best run here in 2022. There was a collision with Anthony Kumpen last year here at Most as well. So Hagesmans has had a mixed history here. Mark Goosens, I don't know how much history he has here, but he has history everywhere. Andre.
Don't worry, I try to catch Liam as well later, Adam. I'm here with Mark Goosens. It was a really decent qualifying, right?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I left some time in the last 2 corners, but I don't think it was enough to take P1 or P2. Maybe P2 was possible, but you know, I'm pretty happy with the performance that we have. It's been feeling good, you know, all weekend, and a couple of minor issues technically, but you know, the team has been doing a great job in fixing everything in time. And you know, what else can you ask for? Your top 3 at the Most Grand Prix with a very tight first corner. So I'm very happy. I'm very confident for the race as well. Temperatures are a little bit cooler today, so I'm really looking forward to it, especially with this crowd coming out. You know, I'm so proud to be in NWES series again here in 2024, and it proves again, time after time, when you see the crowd come out, they're doing a great job here.
You know, when a race car driver is a perfect professional, when you don't have any questions left. Thank you so much, Mark.
Sorry about that, then.
No problem. Thank you, well.
Yeah, pleasure.
Back to you, Adam.
He's only got about 40 years worth of interviewing experience, Andre. Mark Goosens, awesome to hear from him. And he is going to be up the order. And this is a circuit that I think suits an experienced driver. I think the unique nature of the circuit that we were hearing from with Alan Day is kind of, no, we need this lens, thank you, Ariana. But the unique nature of this circuit does mean that suits drivers with a little more experience, a little more race experience, especially once we're wheel to wheel. It's one thing practicing and qualifying, but wheel to wheel is quite different. Liam Hazeman's is with Andre.
Adam, should I now ask him what you wanted?
I can't remember what I wanted you to ask.
Okay, he said you have a little bit of a history on that track, at that track. Do you know the breaking point for turn 1?
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thanks a lot, mate. But yeah, no, I know the break points for turn 1. I tried it in the practice, so it should be fine. But yeah, no, actually, Most didn't have been so well to us in the past years. But now I think we learned what was wrong the 2 years before, so now we are well prepared.
Okay, stop the joking. I know last year was a little bit tough. Accident happens, especially in a tough corner like this. I know that I can joke with you about that, but in the end, you want to win the EuroNASCAR Pro Crown. You want to be on top of the championship at the end. Do you have what it takes? Does the team have what it takes?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you look at it, we are actually the only ones, you know, this year that have won the race apart from Vittorio. Just, yeah, I mean, this time qualifying didn't went as planned. We tried something on the car because yesterday we did some mistake with the adjustments of the car, so the setup wasn't right yesterday. And we tried it in qualifying. I mean, yeah, the car felt actually pretty good, just the time wasn't there, unfortunately, you know. I mean, we were P4 with, I think, 5 tenths or 6 tenths. Even they broke the lap record, so congrats to Vittorio and Paul. But, yeah, I think for in the race, you know, the differences are a bit smaller. So I think we have a good car for in the race, so it should be fine normally.
Thank you, Whelen. Thank you so much for even taking the joke.
No
Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Andre. Thanks for that. I only said it happened. I didn't say it was anything else. Yeah, Liam has certainly got a lot to be happy with at this point in the season. It's been going well, but we'll see what happens next in this weekend. We've got 2 races, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about at the conclusion of it, because regular season is ending. Everyone knows they need a good result here to make sure they can drop 2 strong results. Of course, if you end up dropping 2 poor results, that's not bad, but the more great races you've got in the chamber, the great results that you've got in the chamber at the end of regular season, once we drop the 2 worst results, that can only be better for you. And going into the double points, going into the playoffs, the last thing you want to do is come in with perhaps an unsteady platform. You don't want to come in here having had a poor weekend at Most. So this is a man looking for a good weekend, Sebastian Bleekemolen.
That's right, Adam. Sebastian, I see the 72 car there. I see the 69 here. It looks good.
Yeah, we're always fast at Moss, so we expected to be in the top 6, and well, it happened. Yeah.
What about you? We revealed that you had surgery in the summer break. Are you feeling right?
My fitness level is not where it was, but I'm improving every day. And if I look back, it was a terrible period, but now I'm feeling fine. And as you can see, the speed is there again, so that's nice.
So it's like a reset button.
For
After the first half of the season.
Yeah, we had a terrible first half of the season with a big crash in Valencia, of course, and the car wasn't doing well. And well, we did a lot of things during the summer break, and now the speed is there again. So I'm looking forward to the last part of the season.
But can you tell me one thing? We talked to each other right after the crash. As a race car driver, when you had something like this, how do you deal with something like this mentally?
It was hard to see all the cars coming. I spun and I saw the whole field approaching me, and Mark almost hit me at 150 km per hour. So that was really terrible. But I thought maybe I have some bad nightmares about it, but it never happened.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, thank you so much. Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, that was an intense accident. Talking about the season opener at Valencia, and as he said, this does seem to be a circuit that suits Team Bleekemolen as a whole. One of Sebastian's best runs of last season came here. Vladimir Osiortsis will be looking for one of his better runs as well. Claudio Reggio-Capelli, the only man I know that wears his race suit when he doesn't need to in the summertime. He'll be racing, of course, later on in EuroNASCAR 2. But we are on the countdown now, and I think the fans will soon be starting to funnel away from the grid and head back towards the main grandstands and the spectator areas. Fabrizio Armetta is with Andre.
Thank you so much. Fabrizio, I think in the summer break there's a lot of things going on. Club Motorsport, social media improvement, pace improved. You're in a good way, right?
In this year, we make very progressive on the car and on the social media. Today, the race, the difficult for me, it's a very problem. The first corner. After the first corner, maybe simply race.
All right, then. Thank you so much and good luck. Have fun. Thank you. Back to you, Adam.
Outside of the third row for Fabrizio Armetta, and that will be tricky. As he said, not the best place to be. Really, anywhere beyond the first two rows, you end up in this kind of pinch point scenario that can really be a tricky thing for people. We see here that we've still got the autographs going on. That was our second Neumann, Vanessa Neumann, not related to Victor. Ryan Vargas is going critical path security, pointing at his bonnet sticker for all he's worth, but sharing that 3F car this weekend with Vanessa Neumann, who had a good result in the Club Challenge event on Friday, which is the regularity test format, all about being consistent as well as quick in that series. And yeah, great to see 3F expanding their driver lineup. Of course, 3F Racing, a team that Ryan Vargas is very heavily involved with. And the long-term ambition there is to be the first German team to enter the NASCAR Cup Series. And they've got Ryan Vargas on the books to try and make that happen. He's part of the fold and the fabric of that team. Ryan, if you follow him on his socials, you'll be aware that he's been doing some spotting lately for truck and Xfinity teams. Of course, he raced Xfinity earlier in the season as well, but he's always keen to be able to racetrack in whatever role he can glean. And now he's back in Europe once again, back to another circuit that he has never seen before this weekend. However, the last two rounds of the season will be more familiar territory. Oschersleben and Zolder, the two facilities he drove on last year. Paul Giffroy having the last chats there with RDV Competition. We are also just a few seconds away from the national anthems here as well. We will have the USA and the Czech national anthems back to back. We're in the final 10 minutes before the engines fire here in Most for the first time this weekend. The next chapter of the EuroNASCAR Pro season for 2024 is about to write itself, and the man, perhaps with the pen, is Vittorio Gorelli. Will the story work out in his favour, or will Paul Giffroy be able to do something special? We're getting closer to finding out. But as the clock strikes 2 p.m. local time, it's time for our anthems. the anthems are now completed. And as you can see, our pace car driver getting ready to go. Everybody getting themselves prepared. Liam Hazeman's ready to get in the cockpit and go racing. Everybody is ready to go. It's gotten a bit more sunny since qualifying. Still cloud cover. I don't think I've ever seen pure blue skies here at Most. But it's always hot and humid. Andre, I know it's warm in the commentary box, but how is it on the ground there? Is it a bit of a sweltering day?
It's really, really hot outside. In the morning it was cool, but right now it's really, really hot. And I think the drivers will have a tough competition out there, a tough challenge when the cockpits will heat up to 50, 60, maybe 70 degrees. So it's going to be a really, really physical race. And Adam, by the way, I know you just mentioned and I just wanted to follow up on.
Afraid it sounds like Andre's having some audio issues there. But Paul Giffreau getting himself into his car, the number 3 machine, and the RDV competition car just being adjusted there. Nice to see it's on rails. Quite an easy adjustment then on the seat, which makes things easier, of course, when you've got 2 drivers. Paul Giffreau a great deal shorter, it must be said, than Patrick Schauber. There's Mark Goossens in the final stages of preparation as well. 4 minutes until the command, so the belts go on, the helmet goes on, the final preparations begin. You have to really lock in, focus in on that first corner. Three minutes and 40 seconds until the engines fire up here. The Autodrom Most, always a great place to watch EuroNASCAR racing. And in general, the Czech Republic has been a great area for EuroNASCAR. Of course, that's only been heightened by 2021 EuroNASCAR 2 champion Martin Dubek and his continued participation in both series. He's having his best year in the EuroNASCAR 2 series in many years and is looking like a great contender for the title with a 34-point lead in that series at the moment. But the fans will be cheering him on in this race as well. The EuroNASCAR Pro race, where often Dubek has been very strong as well in the Pro class. There's the 55. Fabrizio Armetta, who we heard from earlier on, outside of the third row. He's going to have to make sure he doesn't end up getting pinched out or pushed off onto that gravel on the first lap. We've seen a few instances of people having to skate across that gravel trap, and it is so easy to just slightly misjudge the braking into that first corner. We saw even Martin Dubek having to take to the escape road earlier on in the day. At a time where NASCAR is becoming more and more international, we get to see some of the best circuits in any NASCAR series here in the EuroNASCAR Championship. And Most, as Alan Day was alluding to earlier on, such a unique challenge. 21 corners, and you go left to right for many of them. Not many consecutive left or right-handers. Constantly working at the wheel around this circuit, which will mean tyre preservation is key, although tyre wear should be a little more symmetrical than normal. And that will certainly be handy. Or on a week where the NASCAR Cup Series has announced its first visit to a different country in many, many years, at a time where there are more international NASCAR series than ever before. The EuroNASCAR keeps getting better and better. The crowds keep growing. The interest, the awareness of EuroNASCAR continues to grow. And here in Czechia, here at Most, it is a strong audience. We've got 15 seconds until the command. We're going to hand things down to Lucas Bayer, the main project manager for Visit Czechia.
Start your engines.
And there you go. The command is given. And V8 Fury has arrived in Czechia once again. NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, the Pro Class, is about to go racing. It will be a very compelling top three, or top four, I should say. All three of the front runners in the championship, or three of the four front runners in the championship, are right there at the sharp end. Erkeli has a little bit of work to do, our defending champion, from further back on the grid. But Giuffro versus Garelli on the front row will be very interesting. And the wily, experienced veteran Mark Goossens perhaps not going to be a factor in the championship, given he did completely miss an event. Of course, those scores will be dropped, but it's still certainly a handicap. We'll see if he can maybe pick the bones of any issues up front to try and secure his first win of the season. Hazeman's alongside him on row 2. We are rolling then. And we will talk you through the grid during this formation lap. It is Vittorio Garelli on pole position alongside Paul Giuffro. Then it's Mark Goossens and Liam Hazeman's on row 2. Sebastian Blakemolen and Fabrizio Armetta on the third row. Armetta on the outside of that row. Gianmarco Erkeli is next alongside Martin Dubek in 8th place. Luca Lasser and Ulysse Delso on an all-speed house row 5. Siortzis and Dauenhauer rounding out the top dozen. From there, row 7 of the grid is Ryan Vargas and Thomas Toffel. Max Lanza and Thomas Krosonis are next. Then it's Riccardo Romagnoli and Thomas Dombrowski. That brings us down to 18th position. Simone Giussani is next. Dario Casso, Nick Strickler, Victor Neumann and Liam Lambert round out our 23 that are set to start in this race. So then the formation lap is ongoing. We're readying ourselves for a 2x2 formation fly down to the first corner. And this is going to be a hugely compelling motor race today. Andre, we'll try come to you once again on this formation lap. It's that critical moment now, trying to get another heat cycle back into those Hoosier tyres after they've already done qualifying. They need to try and find every little bit of temperature and indeed grip they can before the race starts. Okay, sounds like Andre might not be able to play ball for now. I know the temperatures are soaring in his room at the moment here at the circuit. So then, Garelli and Giuffro are in 2x2 formation. Everybody else lining up in their lanes as well. Who will get the best run down to the first corner? Will anyone be brave in race one of the weekend. Of course, many of these drivers have to consider their teammates. They've got a EuroNASCAR 2 driver waiting in the wings to use their chassis a little bit later on in the day in our second EuroNASCAR race of Saturday.
Probably.
Just hearing Andre there briefly, but Andre, it does sound like we're having problems with your connection. Garelli and Dufro are side by side. Who's going to get the best start? It should be Garelli. Garelli has a nose ahead as we go racing. It's a good start from row 3 from Sebastian Blekemolen. He is on it as they run to the first corner. Everybody looking for track space. I think a couple may have gone deep there into the runoff area, but it's Vittorio Garelli that leads the way from Dufro. Some kicking up of dust there. Gianmarco Ercoli going a bit out wide. Fabrizio Armetta getting swallowed up a little bit as well. One of the Speedhouse cars has had a brilliant start. That's Ulysse Delso up to 5th position from 9th on the grid. That will suit him very well indeed. Garelli from Dufro, from Goossens, then Sebastian Blekemolen in 4th place. Juan Marshall definitely wants to get a good view as we run through the first lap of the race. V8's Thunder through the Autodrom Most for the first time. 17 laps of racing. We're on the first of them. Garelli just about keeping Dufro at bay for now. Oh, but look at that further back. Delso having to defend there. In fact, no, that's Lasserre. My apologies. Lasserre is the one that's up to 5th place then. And it's Gianmarco Ercoli who gets himself up into P5 there. Ercoli gets past the 33 of Lasserre, who's now giving a bit of a bump to Gianmarco Ercoli. These two title rivals from the 2023 season. Of course, it was Gianmarco Ercoli who came out on top, but only after drama for Luca Lasserre. And it looked to me like Lasserre got a good run. Yes, he did. I think Ercoli missed a gear coming out of the chicane, and Lasserre comes back into 5th position. It's a bit of a smoke screen kicked up there. Some dust thrown in the face of our defending champion. Dubek is involved in this as well in 7th place. Then it's Armetta. Liam Hazeman's had a shocking start. He's down to 9th position, so he got squeezed out in a big way. So did Ulysse Delso. Delso is in 14th. Oh, and contact between Lasserre and Ercoli. It looked like Lasserre may have had an issue finding a gear there because he didn't really accelerate properly from maybe 2nd to 3rd gear. And it was Ercoli whose front end triggered an incident for Luca Lasserre. A big moment in the race. We're just 1 lap in and already the drama, or 2 laps in, and already the drama is kicking off here. The temperatures that had maybe cooled after a heated run at Venray are already surging back up, both literally and metaphorically speaking. That the temperatures in the cockpit will be going up, and I'm sure the discussions are already being lined up for after the race. Martin Dubek with Armetta and Hazeman side by side behind him. Hazeman gets through, makes up a position. There's some debris down. .55 being pursued by the 54. Then it's Tobias Downhauer in 9th, and in 10th place is Max Lanza. Lanza in the 88 Cal Racing car, so that's the teammate effectively to Gianmarco Ercoli's 54 car. Under the Orland branded bridge they go through this sweeping, snaking final sector of the lap. Of course, it opens up a bit more now as they go behind the paddock, but you can't really go too wide. Well, you can, but you need a good amount of respect to go too wide through those couple of kinks before the last proper braking zone of the lap at turn 20. Ercoli sizing up Fabrizio Armetta. He'll be disappointed. He got a decent start. He was running towards the top 5, and then there was that contact between himself and Leclerc. And I think, is that Leclerc heading back out onto the circuit? Yes, it is, and he heads back out onto the circuit right with Gianmarco Ercoli. And Ercoli missed the chicane. Ercoli went straight on through the chicane. There is Gianmarco Ercoli. Luca Leclerc is back out there with one very damaged race car. Tafel gets past him, Chrysonis gets past him. No further action in the contact between Leclerc and Ercoli, so that's been judged to have been a racing incident. And again, it did look as though Leclerc missed a gear, so I can understand why that decision was made. But what I'm not seeing is Ercoli at this stage. Don't think he's listed as having come into the pit lane. It looked to me like he went straight on at the first chicane. And I haven't caught sight of him since then. Vladimiros Siortsis under some pressure from Ulysse Delso in the sister car, the other Speedhouse machine. His team boss, of course, is Luca Leclerc. And Delso looks like he's got that done quite easily. Siortsis just drifted wide at the penultimate apex of the lap, and that has allowed Ulysse Delso back through. Ryan Vargas will be getting involved in that battle as well. He's running in 14th place, but your order at this stage of the race, we've just started lap 5. It is Gorelli, Dufro, Goossens and Blakemolen, the top 4 in this race. And as you can see, it is 6 nations in the top 6, or 5 nations in the top 5. We've got 2 Dutchmen in the top 6 with Blakemolen and Hazement. The international nature of this EuroNASCAR field is plain to see. Gorelli 1.1 seconds clear of Dufro, so Dufro hasn't really gotten away. Ercoli did cross the line. He crossed the line, though, in 15th place, and he has damage. Ercoli has damage. We can see him there just behind Leclerc. Ercoli has damage. He's driving around with what looks to be at least a quarter panel loose, and I think the bonnet is slightly stoved upward as well. Now, we saw him go straight on, and we also saw a disturbed tyre stack on the exit of the runoff. There it is. There's the 54 car with damage, and Thomas Dombrowski going past Gianmarco Ercoli. Now, I think he caught the tyre stack as he tried to use the escape road at the first chicane, because we saw the tyre stack slightly moved on the lap that he went straight on. So I think that might be what's happened. Ercoli went straight on, maybe slightly distracted by Leclerc coming back out onto the circuit from the pit lane. And at that point, he may have just caught one of the tyre stacks. We saw some gravel being kicked up as well. Hopefully there's not a car now stranded at the last corner. Lambert has made some good ground up there. He's currently up into 17th place from the back of the grid, so he's picked up some places. And Well, in rather bizarre circumstances, he's now right on the back of Gianmarco Ercoli, whose car is clearly ailing. Another issue for Gianmarco Ercoli in what has been a troubled year of racing by his illustrious standards. Even in a year where it feels like pretty much everything has gone against him, he sits third in the championship, but nonetheless, this is going to be a big dent. And you can see there the tyre rubbing as he took that fast right-hander. Ulysse Delso looking to try and get into the top 10 meanwhile. Lanza is in 9th place, then it's Tefel in 10th, then it's Delso. There's the wounded car of Luca Lasser a lap down. Chrysonis is behind him running 14th. Then it's Dombrovski, then it's the ailing Gianmarco Ercoli. He's being pursued by Lambert, by Giussani, by Casso, by Strickler. Of course, Dario Casso, whose car is driven by Gianmarco's younger brother, Mario Ercoli, in EuroNASCAR 2. Gianmarco will be very annoyed that car is just not playing ball anymore. You can see there that debris down from the first lap of the race. Team Bleekemolen in formation flying action then, running 3rd and 4th. Goossens ahead of Bleekemolen. Sebastian Bleekemolen sits 11th in the championship at the moment. Goossens sits 13th, albeit having missed Brands Hatch earlier in the season. But regardless, this is looking like one of their best weekends of the year at a circuit where they traditionally do perform well. And while that's going on, ahead of them, Giuffreau is closing in on Garelli. The gap was at 1.1 seconds. Last time by, it was down to 0.8. And by no means do I think Garelli has dominant pace over Paul Giuffreau. Perhaps he's saving his tyres a little bit. Maybe he's just looking after the Hoosiers a bit in these hot conditions, bearing in mind that the tyres have to race not just today but also tomorrow. I think it could well be in actuality that Vittorio Garelli is not going to have this one all his own way on the run to the checkered flag. RDV Competition's car is looking quick this weekend in the hands of Giuffreau and in the hands of Schauber. It will start the EuroNASCAR 2 race later on this afternoon from pole position with the Austrian Patrick Schauber. And of course, Paul Giuffreau also started the car on the front row of the grid, albeit in 2nd position. Goossens and Bleekemolen running 3rd and 4th, and Liam Hazemans is now running in 5th place. So all of that ground he lost towards the beginning of the race, it's right back up there now. Still got some more profiting to do if he wants to finish the race where he started. Lasser there getting well out of the way of the battles further back in the field. That was Strickler and Neumann having a scrap. Victor Neumann, who really came out of his shell, had one of his best races of the season at the Venray Oval in June. Here is Hazemans, following Dubek, Armetta and Dauenhauer, who's made up some good places, and Max Lanza looks like he is under a lot of pressure. Tefel, Delso and Ortzis all in one queue, but it looks like Tefel, is he slowing a little bit there? No, I think he was just looking for the inside. We're coming under increasing pressure from Ulysse Delso. There's the 24, a little bit of gravel kicked up there by Garelli, and that tells me he's pushing. The body language of that car in general suggests that no, there is no trace of him taking it easy. This is a man driving at full tilt, and Paul Giuffreau is going a little bit quicker and closing in. It was down to 4/10 last time across the line, as you can see on our graphics there. We're on lap 9 of the race at the moment, and already therefore over half distance. And the question will be, as Del So has a moment in front of Siortsis, that'll drop him from 11th place down to 13th as Ryan Vargas sneaks through in the 3F Racing Camaro. Unfortunate moment there for Ulysse Del So. The Speedhouse cars looked quick, but they haven't had much fortune in this race. But the question on my mind now, as we have completed lap 9 and start lap 10, is, can Garelli hold on until the conclusion of lap 17? Because Paul Giuffreau is looking particularly threatening in this race. Giuffreau is yet to claim a victory this season. The only 2 winners so far have been Vittorio Garelli, who has 4, and Liam Hasemans, who has taken 3 wins thus far. Paul Giuffreau sits 4th in the standings, just 18 points back from Vittorio Garelli, but a victory has not come his way as of yet. This could be the weekend, this could be the moment where that all changes. The RDV competition team will be cheering on Giuffreau. They're looking for their 10th ever race victory in EuroNASCAR Pro this weekend, and Giuffreau looks like he's got the car underneath him to try and do it here, pressurizing the rear of Garelli. The gap down to less than a quarter of a second, and contact between them. Giuffreau saw the door open at turn 2 and tried to go for it. He'll be hoping his car isn't damaged from that little bit of contact. I think both cars are okay, but that was a signal of intent from Paul Giuffreau. He just locked eyes with Vittorio Garelli, put his cards on the table, showed his hand, and said, well, I'm going for it. Garelli manages to stay in the lead for the time being. Giuffreau has slightly fallen off the back of Garelli on this lap though, so has there been a slight hit to his confidence? Has there been a slight change to the feel in the steering wheel with that contact? It was a fairly harsh angle of contact for the RDV car. Goossens and Blakemolen are, I think, potentially closing in on those 2 ahead as well. And while that's going on, Vladimiros Siortsis has received a 5-second penalty. And just getting a look back at, sorry, apologies for missing this. I was going through a statistic at the time. Paul Giuffreau went a little bit wide there on that previous lap. So that explains why Giuffreau has dropped back a little bit. He made a slight error that you guys saw on camera. We now get a look back at the incident at the start of the previous lap. Giuffreau saw the door open, had a go at it, and then there was that contact from door to wheel. And then a few corners later, Giuffreau had a small off-track moment. We saw as well the spinning car of Yildiz Del So. Vladimir Osiortis was given a 5-second penalty for avoidable contact. So I do believe that is the reason that we saw Del So spinning. We didn't actually see the start of the spin, only the end. But it makes sense then that Osiortis perhaps was the other party in that. Giuffreau once again has closed back in on Garelli, so the time lost was purely because of that off-track moment. No further action for their previous contact, which one would expect. Oh, Garelli clearly pushing wide out of the last corner there. That will compromise his run, of course, for the first corner. So no move made this time through the chicane, and well, the reason for that was the off-track. Giuffreau could have a move here if he needs to. It's a good overtaking opportunity down at the bottom end of the circuit, but of the 21 corners, I would suggest that maybe 3 or 4 of them are true passing places. And of course, the foremost of them is inevitably that tight first chicane. The final lap in this race could be one for the ages. Vittorio Garelli, if he's still there in the lead by that point, is going to have to defend hard. And the run to lap 17 is going to be hard fought because Garelli clearly doesn't want to wait that long. Paul Giuffreau, who this time a year ago secured his first win in the EuroNASCAR Pro Division. On the same year, of course, he ended up winning the EuroNASCAR 2 title. This is a circuit that's been kind to him in his short career so far. It's been kind to Garelli as well. He's had some good runs here at Most. It's a circuit that a lot of the drivers seem to like. Giuffreau once again closing in. It just seems like the race pace is better for the RDV competition driver. I'll tell you what, if there's a little bit of side-by-side between these two, Garelli and Giuffreau, I can't rule out Mark Goossens. He's been slowly but surely closing his way back in. He's 2.1 seconds away from the race lead last time across the line. He and Sebastian Bleekemolen have just kind of snuck in at the in the background and are becoming more and more a part of the foreground in this battle for the lead. Again, the laps are running out. That much is plain to see. But if there is a little moment here between Giuffreau and Garelli before the checkered flag, it could be Goossens and Bleekemolen that benefit. Giuffreau having a little speculative look to the inside there at the first corner. Wasn't close enough to make a legitimate move. Of course, Garelli currently on course to quite handily extend his championship lead with Hazeman's down in 5th place. The fastest lap of the race so far appears to belong to Paul Dufresne, 140.472. So he will net some bonus points for that. That, of course, being provided no one else goes quicker before the end of the race. Not only will he gain a bonus for that, but he will also get pole position for Sunday. And that is very valuable indeed. I think actually it might well be Liam Lambert running 15th from 23rd on the grid, who would net the points for most positions gained, which will give him an extra 5 points. Of course, Liam hasn't been with us all season, so that won't do much for any potential title aspirations, but still. Apologies, no bonus point for fastest lap. I've been roaming between rule sets recently, and it's starting to show as Paul Dufresne gets a little bit closer to Vittorio Garelli. Garelli and Dufresne got very close there at the second apex. So Lambert in 15th place, like I said, starting at the very rear. 8 places gained. I suspect that means he'll be on for the bonus points for most positions gained. And Thomas Dombrowski getting a bit of help there from Simone Giussani. Gianmarco Ercoli still fighting it out down at the rear end of the order as well with his damaged car, and it looks like Giussani may have a damaged car as well. All sorts of dramas further back then. I think that may have been... Was that Mark Goossens kicking up a little bit of dust, or was that driving through dust from ahead of him? I'm not sure. But this is the penultimate lap of the race. We are on lap 16. There's one more lap to go, and Paul Dufresne will be acutely aware that the last chance saloon comes up right now. So let's turn our attentions to the lead battle. Garelli, our championship leader, currently on for yet another race victory. It would be win number 5 of the season, but Paul Dufresne, who's yet to get the top step of the podium this season, is right there behind him. Looks to the inside line. And you can see the aggressive approach to that chicane, got right up to the rear of Garelli. That was the best overtaking opportunity as they go past the limping Luca Lasser. The objective best overtaking point of the lap is gone. The next one comes up now after this sequence of Ben down at the bottom end of the circuit, but he's not close enough there. There are 2, maybe 3 opportunities left for Paul Dufresne, and he's going to get close enough to make them work. Through this fast right-hander, he needs to carry as much speed as possible to try and get a good run towards the Orland Bridge. And I don't think he's going to be close enough for a dive there. Indeed, he is not. He needs to get every apex right, and he's right on the apex, a little bit over the apex. He's very close as they now run towards what will be the final proper passing opportunity, the last 2 corners of the lap. Is Dufresne going to be close enough? Vittorio Garelli versus Paul Dufresne for the race lead. And it is still Garelli in the lead. One last corner left to go. I don't think Dufresne is going to be able to do enough, but he gets a good run out to the final corner. The slipstream that he claims doesn't exist isn't going to help him. And it's Vittorio Garelli that wins the race. Paul Dufresne takes second. Mark Goossens crosses the line in third. Formation flying with Sebastian Blake-Molen. Liam Hazeman takes 5th place. Martin Dubeck in 6th. Armetta 7th. At least he should be in 7th place. And then we're expecting to see Dauenhauer, Siortsis and Delso down to 10th place. Max Lanza has dropped behind Gilles Delso towards the end of the race. He will finish 11th ahead of Ryan Vargas and Thomas Tafel, who you just saw there. Next across the line will be Thomas Chrysonis. And then Liam Lambert bringing us down to 15th position, but it's a win once again for Vittorio Garelli. Victory number 5 of the season. I'm sure a wave of respect there from Mark Goossens. But with Liam Hasemans down in 5th position, that is a very beneficial result for Vittorio Garelli. Pole positions have been coming to him in abundance this season. He started from the front of the grid on no less than 7 occasions at this stage of the season. And the wins are stacking up too. The championship lead will stack further in his favour. Just one more race to go until we start to talk about the effect of those drop scores. Two scores will be dropped at the conclusion of tomorrow's race as we end regular season. And Vittorio Garelli is your race winner. Paul Dufro takes 2nd, Mark Goossens in 3rd place, Sebastian Blakemolen 4th, Liam Hasemans takes a good 5th place, recovering from the fringes of the top 10 ahead of Martin Dubek, Fabrizio Armetta, Tobias Dauenhauer in 8th place, Gilles Delso in P9. And Max Lanza taking 10th position. Valmiro Siortsis had a 5-second penalty, of course. I think that dropped him down a little bit. Siortsis finishing 11th, Vargas 12th, Tafel in 13th place, Chrysonis in 14th, and Lambert in 15th as we get a look back at the start of the race once again. Sebastian Blakemolen got a positive launch. Thought for a minute he'd get past Goossens at the first corner, but he braked to avoid contact with his teammate. Hasemans got swallowed up a little bit as well on the first lap, but of course the real drama started on lap 2 with Lasserre into the barrier. I think he missed a gear, and that is what caused him to slow down. Then there was this moment, a dive to the inside from Paul Dufro, contact between the two of them. And while Dufro would try and get the run, it simply never quite opened again for him, the door. Dombrowski, Giassani and Ercoli in a scrappy fight further back. Gianmarco Ercoli, defending champion, will be very annoyed that his car was ultimately damaged. I think again he clipped one of the tyre stacks at the first chicane, and that's what damaged the car. But the race win goes to the 24. The race win goes to Vittorio Garelli, who was pulled up to victory lane. An all too familiar sight this year, PK Car Sports getting ready to welcome their driver out of the car. And here comes Garelli out of victory lane. Oh, goodness me. Well, his balance is off, but his race-winning pace is certainly on. Vittorio Garelli claims the win. Styled that one out nicely. Now he and PK Carsport celebrate another great result in a season that is looking increasingly promising. He can't make any assumptions about how the rest of his season will go, not just because of tomorrow here at Moss, but of course the double points thereafter. The championship could go one of so many ways with double points available. But across regular season thus far, Garelli has certainly made his case that he is the man to beat. Is Matthew from Botchamania watching? Oh dear. Just one slip up for Vittorio Garelli, and thankfully it didn't come during the race. And here he is now with Andre.
Thank you so much, Adam. Another race win, another step towards the championship, but it was a tough battle with Paul Dufault, right?
Yeah, it was very fast. We were struggling a bit halfway through the race, but yeah, he was a bit too aggressive also. Bumped me 3-4 times. Not so respectful, you know, but it was a nice battle. It ended up well, and that's the main objective, the main goal. Anyway, yeah, a lot of fun. I really struggled, but I really had a lot of fun. It was a nice race. This is for my dad. He has to get surgery soon to his hip. This is for you. Ciao, papa.
We saw you a little bit struggling when you came out of the car. Was it a very physical race for you?
It wasn't so physical, but mentally it was really hard. Because as soon as I did a little mistake, he would pass me, you know. So I had to really use my head a lot, and yeah. But physically, it was quite okay. We're trained for that.
All right, thank you so much. You know what's coming up next. I have a sticker for you. Where is it? There is it. It's so hot, it's gluing everywhere. So put it to the other ones, okay? Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, let's turn around.
Yeah.
It is sticker o'clock down in Victory Lane. And number 5 appears on the door for Vittorio Garelli. Well, 6 championship rings is the standard in sport. He's got 5 race victory stickers thus far, and you wouldn't bet against him getting more before the end of the season. Garelli looking certainly a bit spent. It's a warm place to be driving a race car, but as he said, it was the mental side of it, really, just staying focused, staying mistake-free, knowing that a very fast Paul Dufault was waiting in the wings. He can be very proud of his performance, and PK Carsport can once again be proud of a car that is serving its driver very well this season. The number 24 is back in Victory Lane. And Andre, let's have a chat with Patrick Schauber.
You know, Adam, after a race, it's fishing time, and I grabbed the first driver. He came to the podium, and you're not even racing right now. But you saw Garelli and Dufault battling, and the 3-car was quite fast. So you must be very looking forward to your EuroNASCAR 2 race from pole position, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's always good to see that our car runs pretty well. And yeah, my only goal is to survive turn 1. Come out as the leader in turn 1, and then just push until the end, yeah.
Did you hear something already from Paul Dufault about the car, about the race, how it was out there?
I wasn't talking to him yet, but he seemed pretty comfortable, so yeah, I guess it will be good.
All right, thank you so much. See you later in the EuroNASCAR 2 race. Back to you, Adam.
Well, based on what Paul Dufault was doing, I think there's good reason for his EuroNASCAR 2 teammate Patrick Schauber to be optimistic. Dufault had the fastest car out there on the circuit. He has set the fastest lap of the race. Therefore, he will have pole position for Sunday, and that will be of benefit to him for sure, having the inside line on the front row into that treacherous first chicane on Sunday. Second place will do, though, in this race.
I talked already to your teammate Patrick. He was really pleased to see what you did with the 3 car. You seem very fast.
Yeah, the car was really nice. I think RDV Competition made an amazing job on the chassis. The setup were just perfect. I was gaining a lot of time in the turns. After in the exit, it was a bit more difficult to follow. But yeah, at the first lap, I saw that Girelli will, as usually, make a gap and win the race. But at lap 5 or 6, I gained a lot of pace. He lost a little bit, that's why I was gaining. And then it was really hard to find a gap. I saw that I got one, but because he locked the tire at the chicane, I said to myself, okay, I go at the second part of the chicane. But he closed the door like I would do if I was at his place. So yeah, it was good battle. It was nice. It's for races like that we want to be racing driver. Sorry. And yeah, so amazing. We start P1 tomorrow, so that's a good point. And yeah. As I told you, I will be at 100% at every race for now. We have to be there for the championship, and I'm feeling confident.
All right, thank you so much, merci beaucoup. Congratulations. Can I get Ryan Vargas right away? Ryan, how's it going?
They need to tell this guy to slow down. I mean, God, but no, it's great. Another podium for us in 3F Racing, junior podium, with Critical Path and everybody on board. It's really awesome to kind of have this little bit of a streak going, I guess. We had some really great partners in Hunter Constein Belts and Williamsburg Contracting also jump on board this weekend. So just a lot of good momentum riding here and just being consistent. That's what I have been needing this year. We haven't had that to start the year.
What about the physicality of this race? I mean, it's quite hot here in Most. You're more used to the endurance NASCAR races in the Cup, Truck, and Xfinity series in the US. But it's a sprint race, but still physical?
Yeah, it's very physical. I got out of the car and I was like, I need water. Somebody give me water real quick. Because, I mean, with these sprint races, you don't have time to stop. You know what I mean? The only time you really have to relax is the really long front straightaway here. Other than that, you're hustling, trying to do as much as you can. Because you only got, well, how long was the race? 15 laps? I don't really know. But, you know, you only have so much time to gain or lose. You have to make the most of it.
How do you like the track?
Love the track. This place flows beautifully. I love tracks that flow like this. It's kind of like if you took Road America and flattened it out a little bit.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. Back to you, Adam.
That is not a comparison I expected, but an interesting one. Road America, but flattened a little bit. Interesting. Ryan Vargas giving us the inside scoop, as always, from inside of the 3F Racing car. Great to hear from him. And I see that in a minute we will also hear from another of the drivers up at the sharp end. The other podium finisher, Mark Goosens, is with Andre.
Thank you so much. It was a really good day for the Team Blakemon. You had a great pace. You even caught a little bit Girelli and Geoffroy at the end. Are you happy with the result and the performance?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, I would like to say that I don't agree with Ryan, because this track is much better than Road America.
All right.
No kidding. I mean, we are so happy with the podium finish. It's I'm very happy at my age that I can keep coming back and keep confirming. So I'm pretty happy after those youngsters that are fighting for the lead there. And it was only because of their battle that I could close in a little bit again, because I don't think I had the right pace to challenge them. But hey, P3, P4 for Team Blakemon, it's a great result.
This time you said something about your age. I didn't say the word veteran. I didn't say anything about experience. This time it was you, okay? Just for the records. So thank you so much. Congratulations. And I think I try to get the next one right away. Max Lanza is here. So Max, can you join me? How's it going? How was the race for you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm back to the first step of the podium, and I'm so happy because it was another race because it's very hot today in Most, and I'm happy. The team made a wonderful job on the setup of the car, and I'm so happy to be here and to be on the top of the podium. I'm looking for the classification, and we see for tomorrow.
Yeah, we see that you're really happy. So nice to see a smile on your face. Max Lanza, thank you so much. Back to you, Adam. Thank you.
Great insights from the victory lane then, as we will soon be ready for our podiums. Some great races, some great performances there in that one. I think Liam Hasemans will be fairly happy as well with 5th place, given he fell down the order earlier on. I think a few drivers snagged a gear here and there. We saw Gianmarco Ercoli do it at one point. I suspect Lucas Lasserre also missed a gear at one point, which is why we saw him end up in that collision with Gianmarco Ercoli. I think Liam Hasemans on the first lap may have also had a little bit of a missed gear, because he dropped down out of turn 2, dropped down the order, but he managed to work his way back up to P5, and that will also be second in Junior Trophy, behind only Paul Dufresne. Marshall's working hard. Of course, they've got a busy day with this combined EuroNASCAR and FIA European Truck Weekend. There's a lot going on here on the NASCAR GP Czech Republic weekend. And going on right now are the podiums. Mark Goossens on the 3rd step. Paul Dufresne takes to the 2nd step. And here comes the race winner, Vittorio Garelli. Here comes the Italian national anthem.
David.
So Visit Czechia's Lucas Bayer providing the presentations as our top 3 drivers pose with their trophies. Thumbs up all round. And Lucas has clearly dealt with some racing drivers before, because he knows to escape before the champagne is sprayed. And as the champagne sprays, a good statistic for Mark Goossens, who is yet to be able to open the cork on his bottle, try as he might, with this podium, and he finally gets to spray the champagne a little bit. This podium makes him the oldest ever driver to secure a podium in EuroNASCAR Pro. Patrick Lemarie was 54 years and 266 days old when he secured his final podium in EuroNASCAR Pro. And Mark Goossens today, 54 years and 275 days. But the goose is still loose and can still fight for results in high echelons of motorsport, as he has done for over 35 years. Next up, we'll have the Junior Trophy podium. The Rhino himself, Ryan Vargas, will be storming onto the podium. Big smile on his face, I'm sure. A decent race, especially given the lack of time on Friday with the suspension issues. Here comes Ryan Vargas. Up to the third step. Second place will go to the man who finished 5th overall, Liam Hasemans. And for the second time in a row, it's Dufresne up to the top step. Second step overall. Podium number 2, he gets to be the tallest on the highest step. Ryan Vargas bringing more and more trophies back home in the luggage as he and 3F Racing build their momentum. Liam Hasemans takes second, and Paul Dufresne with the winner's trophy in the junior trophy standings. Liam Hasemans will still just about be leading in junior trophy, but as well as fighting for the overall title, those two are in lockheads in a battle for the junior title as well. Next up, the Challenger Trophy podium. Third step going to Liam Lambert, who made some good headway during that race in the 21 Lux Motorsport car, the former Mini Challenge UK competitor in his second weekend of EuroNASCAR. Great to see him back, great to see him enjoying it. And Thomas Duffel taking second. The top step, though, goes to Max Lanza. Cow Racing team, of course, will have some work to do. Gianmarco Ercoli's car will need to be pressed into service for Lily Del Castello later on in EuroNASCAR 2. But they can celebrate with a trophy, as the Challenger Trophy podium and indeed the Challenger Trophy race win falls to Max Lanza. That's our final podium ceremony of the day for the EuroNASCAR Pro category. But before we go, let's take a look at some highlights. The race got underway with the 2x2 rolling start down to the pinch point first chicane. And as we saw, for the most part, everybody got through. Armetta went straight on, but it was Garelli that continued to lead in the early stages from Dufresne, from Mark Goossens. Lasser and Ercoli would find each other. A little bit of contact that unfortunately sent Lasser into the barrier. And Ercoli would soon have damage as well with an issue at the first chicane. Speaking of first chicane, a little bit of contact at turn 2 between Dufresne and Garelli, but it was Garelli that held on. That was the best opportunity of the race, as it turned out, for Paul Dufresne. He couldn't get past. He tried and he tried. Giussani and Dombrovski with a little bit of argy-bargy towards the end in front of reigning champion Gianmarco Ercoli. And while he pressed on until the very final corner, Dufresne could not find a way past the 24, Vittorio Garelli and PK Carsport. Taking another win, and a P3 and a P4 for Team Blake-Molen as well. Sebastian Blake-Molen led home by Mark Goossens. Just the one stumble today for Vittorio Garelli. I'm sure that's going to make it into a few highlight reels before the year ends, but he won't mind, because he continues to extend his championship lead, continues to rack up the trophies, the wins, and indeed the stickers to show for his successes. It's 5 in the season thus far from Vittorio Garelli. He'll be looking to make it 6 tomorrow, but he'll have to do so not from pole position, as Dufro will have pole. Our race action for the day is not completed though, because EuroNASCAR 2 will be next up. 3:55 UK time, 4:55 Central European for some more action. EuroNASCAR 2 coming up later at Most.